Today I'm going to be making a sock. A sock very much like these socks. These socks are destined to go to a knitting charity called WarmWoolies.org. As you can see, there are several different small differences. And these are just going to be plain Jane. I already have one. I'm going to make one to match this. This is a child sock. It's a little better than 6 inches in length from toe to heel. So that should fit about a 6-year-old child. So this first part we're going to do is going to be the toe. I do a very plain increase on the toes, which is just a knit, one in the front and the back, so it makes these little purl bumps. And then just a plain gusset increase, where I'll do a heel extension, the heel flap, and I do like to do a reinforced heel flap, which is a slip one, knit one, and then just a plain knit one, purl one, cuff, all the way up. Behold. Okay. One of the few recommendations or needs that WarmWoolie has is that your yarn be mostly animal fiber. And they do like Lamb's Pride Bulky, which is 85% wool, 15% mohair. I have a nice pair, several sets of double point needles, size 8 or 5 millimeter. So we'll start off. This is my super simple toe, a little awkward perhaps from the first round or two, but after that it gets easy. Put the loose end in my left hand, and I just start weaving in a figure 8 around the 2 DPNs. Go in between them, around the top of the top one, back in between, and around the bottom one. So that's basically one stitch on each DPN. I'm going to do that for 5 stitches on each. So that's 2 on each. 3, 4, and 5. Nope, 4. Can't count. 5. Okay. So now I'm just going to start knitting. I don't like provisional cast-ons. So basically all I'm going to do is just start knitting these stitches that is on the top. It's a little awkward. And one of the things about Lamb's Bulky is that it is kind of splitty. So you will pick up too much or not enough. Knit across. Things go a little quicker after this first round. Keep your little tail pull forward towards you. This last one we're just going to knit, and we do want to leave this tail and what is going to be the right side of the work for right now. So there's 5 stitches on that round. Now, on this stitch, keeping this free end to the front, on this half of the round, I'm going to be knitting in the back of the stitch. Did you see that? Right in there. In the back of the stitch. Back, and back. So now the little tail can go underneath, and I have 5 stitches on each of my needles. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and split my stitches up into basically on 3 needles, because that's the way I like to work. so that I'll have all the instep stitches on one needle and the sole and heel stitches on 2 needles. And that kind of lets me know when I get back to the beginning of my round. So right out the bat, I'm going to increase a stitch. And all I'm going to do is knit in the front and knit in the back. Kind of tight there. That's good. We want our socks to be tightly knit. Alright, there was my one increase. I'll get my other needle, join it in. Now I'm going to put my next increase at the same spot, but it's going to be on this next to the last stitch. Okay. There's an increase. There's an increase. Going to increase on this needle. There's one. Knit across. And I'm going to put my increase in the back of the stitch. Okay. Now, in case you're noticing, our first little row where we cast on our stitches, the stitches are kind of large. We'll fix that in a couple rounds. We're not going to worry about it right now. So, I'm sorry if all my DPNs are in your face. We're going to increase on this round again. Same way. Knit in the front, knit in the back. And then we're just going to got that. In the front, in the back, and knit. So here we have one increase, 2 increases. And this is the instep needle I'm working on now, so I've got to increase it equally in the front and the back of that first stitch. Knit all the way across. Yes, I'm outside. And the mockingbirds are loud. And the jaybirds. There was another increase. Knit the last stitch. Okay. If you can kind of tell, our toe is starting to shape up a bit. Now, so I've increased one at each end of the, I guess you could say, at each end of the instep stitches and each end of the sole stitches. Twice. Now I am going to just knit plain. It stops feeling so awkward with the double points after you get a few more stitches on your knee. Now, since this is a child's sock, we're not going to increase that far. We only want a total of 13 instep stitches and a total of 13 sole stitches. So we don't have to increase very much to get there. If this is boring to you, you can always stop. I'm coming back later with a different clip to show you how to do the, I'm sorry, I'm not used to knitting in front of a camera, so my thumb keeps getting in your light. Alright, now, because of the way I've set my DP ends up, I know that I am at the end of that round. Okay. I'm going to increase on this round again, same way. Get one in the front and the back, one in the front, one in the back. Sorry, my dogs are about to bark. And then knit. I do like double points or some kind of needle that's a little grippy, because as you can tell, I really knit with my stitches way down on the needle, and they will fall off if you have a slick needle, like a metal needle. One in the front and the back of this one. Okay. So I have 1, 2, 3 increases. And these are the instep stitches, so I'm going to increase front and back, first stitch. Or I should just say increase by knitting in the front and the back. We're going to go all the way across and stitch, second stitch from the end, knit front and back, which will increase 1 and put our purl bump right next to the last stitch. 1, 2, 3. And I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. So I only need to increase one more time, but I am going to knit even for 2 rounds at this point. That gives kind of a nice rounded toe. Some people like a sharper toe or a flatter toe, but this is kind of what I like. So, allow me to fish my knitting from the ground. I'm going to try to knit quickly so I don't have to stop this, because I doubt my video editing skills are up to par. And then after we do this last increase, we'll basically be home free on the toe. And no Kitchener stitch, which I loathe and despise. I will stop. I'm sorry, I'm getting it out of your view. I will stop after this little round here and show you how to kind of fix the toe where the stitches were a little loose. Alright, that was 1 round, knit even. Okay, so as we can see, our stitches are a bit loose right there where we started everything. So what we do is just turn it inside out, and you can kind of see the area where the stitches are loose. So I just follow this around and just kind of yank up on the stitch, the yarn some. Yank there, yank it there, and just do it all the way across. Yanking. And now we're getting down to the very end where the yarn is actually this little weird thing sticking over to the side. Let's pull it through and then pull our free little tail, and everything is tightened up, and our stitches, while not precisely even right now, are much tighter. Okay, so let me see, where am I? We're going to knit even again. I do like magic loop. It is my preferred method for my own socks. The ends are a little awkward, especially when knitting these small socks, because it's not easy to find a size 8 needle in a short, like I say, a 5-inch length, which is really all you need for a child's sock. But even though I really like magic loop, and as I say, that's what I use for my own socks, some reason it was awkward to me. I think part of it was the fact that I wouldn't know where the beginning and ending of my round was, and one round really makes a difference in this bulky yarn, because that is now, isn't that cute? Okay, one more increase and our toe will be shaped. That's why bulky is a single ply, so I seem to always get too little. One more increase on the sole stitches. Knit the last stitch on the row. And then the instep stitches. Increase the first stitch by knitting in the front and the back. Knit across. Okay, now I'm going to knit in the front and the back of the second from the last. So there's that purl bump, and then knit the last stitch. So I have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, just what I wanted. So 26 stitches around for these child-size socks. And if you can see, here's our increases. 1, 2, 3, and then up here, 4. So that's our toe. So now we're going to knit even so that from here to where we will begin, the gusset increases will be 3.5 inches. So see, we've already done 1.5 inches. Well, 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches. Like I said, this bulky yarn, one round can make a great deal of difference. So I'll stop there. I'll meet up with you again for the gusset increases in just a bit.